possible that's what you said?
No, would never say that. Like, there's no place for that in our league. Wouldn't say that.
So even though you can't remember, you know that was not what you said?
I know it wasn't that because I wouldn't use that type of language.
Okay.
Sentiments of this kind are contrary to the principles of inclusion and respect that form the foundation of our diverse, multicultural, and multi-ethnic league. They simply have no place in the NBA. Effective immediately, I am banning.
Breaking news is sending shockwaves through the basketball world. Brittney Griner has officially been removed from the WNBA, and the reason behind it is already one of the most explosive stories of the year. Reports started surfacing less than 24 hours ago after a leaked set of alleged medical records hit the internet. These documents, according to insiders, claimed to confirm details that have fueled years of speculation about Griner's identity, and almost immediately, her name disappeared from the WNBA's official roster. What's shocking fans isn't just the leak itself, but the way the league handled it. There was no press conference, no official suspension announcement, not even a statement from the commissioner's office. It was quiet, almost surgical, as if the decision had already been made long before the news broke. Now, social media is on fire, with some fans saying this was a long overdue decision, while others argue this is nothing short of erasure. Behind the scenes, sources claim Brittney is livid, and she's reportedly placing the blame squarely on NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. People who once defended her are suddenly silent, while years of rumors about her voice, her height, and even her time in a Russian prison are now being treated as confirmation by critics. But this story isn't just about gender, it's about power, control, and how the league chooses to protect its image. This doesn't feel like a spontaneous reaction. It feels like a move the WNBA has been preparing for quietly, waiting for the right moment to act. And in doing so, they may have unintentionally exposed exactly what they were trying to hide. The question now isn't just whether Brittney Griner will ever play in the league again, it's whether the WNBA can recover from a decision that could change its reputation forever.
And pioneers of the game, like Earl Lloyd, Chuck Cooper, Sweetwater Clifton, the great Bill Russell, and particularly Magic Johnson, I apologize.
All this kicked off after
Everything exploded after that Caitlyn clip went viral, and from that moment, it stopped being about basketball. People weren't debating fouls, sportsmanship, or even performance anymore. They were going after Brittney Griner's very existence. Within hours, the conversation shifted from she's out of pocket to she shouldn't even be in this league. Then came the so-called evidence, a random Reddit post with no name, no verified source, just a grainy screenshot claiming to be her medical records. The post alleged Brittney was born male and transitioned early in life, and somehow that single blurry image became the internet's smoking gun. The final piece of proof for every rumor that's been circulating since 2013? The leak spread faster than the league could react. Twitter threads, TikTok videos, and Instagram stories were everywhere within hours. People were dissecting her past interviews, her voice, her time in that Russian prison, as if every moment of her life was now retroactive evidence. The league stayed silent, but fans didn't, and now the conversation has reached a boiling point. Here's a clip of one TikTok creator breaking down exactly what he thinks is really going on with Brittney Griner, and why so many people believe this is bigger than basketball.
With Brittney Griner in the midst, people are actually speculating, hey, this probably really could have happened because a lot of people believe that Brittney Griner is not a female. A lot of people believe that Brittney Griner is the first male to play in the WNBA.
And even as that video was blowing up across the internet, the WNBA stayed completely silent. No statements, no denials, no attempt to slow the rumors down, nothing. But fans started noticing something strange. Things began quietly disappearing. First, Brittney Griner's name was pulled from the Phoenix Mercury's All-Star voting campaign. Then, almost overnight, her jersey disappeared from the official team store. The WNBA quietly scrubbed her from their homepage, and insiders began whispering that her eligibility status was under internal review. By the end of that week, Brittney was no longer on the active roster, and that's when Adam Silver's name got dragged into the story. According to multiple reports, he saw the same files that leaked online, and instead of keeping it behind closed doors, he allegedly gave the green light to cut her from the league completely. Here's Adam Silver addressing the situation publicly for the very first time. And what he says about the ban is already sparking even more debate.
Effective immediately, I am banning.
Now fans are starting to ask the real question, not whether the leak was real, but why the league waited until now to act on something it seems they've known about for years. This doesn't feel like a last-minute reaction. It feels like a move that was planned. A decision the WNBA was just waiting for the right moment to make. And that's what's fueling the conspiracy talk online. This theory didn't start with the leak. People have been side-eyeing Brittney Griner for over a decade. That single screenshot just gave them the excuse to say out loud what they'd been whispering all along. From the beginning of her career, critics said she was too strong, too tall, too masculine to be a real woman. When shirtless photos of her surfaced online and didn't get flagged or removed, something that happens to other female athletes almost instantly, fans said that was proof the league was protecting her. That's when this theory really started to grow legs. And by the time the leaked file hit social media, it felt like confirmation bias for everyone who had doubted her since day one. Whether you believe the rumors or think this is just targeted hate, there is no denying this moment has changed the conversation around Brittney Griner forever. And if you think this is all just speculation, here's the clip that had social media going wild and why it's still fueling debate right now.
Of her.
Swaggy, Brittney, let me see something real quick. Brick, thank you. Get the out of here, yo. Jab stepping, Mr. Brick. Swing and a miss.
Oh!
Yo, I ain't gonna fake it right now.
Swag is down for the count. Let's get it.
Got my hand right here.
Oh!
As you can see, critics have been pointing to her chest for years as evidence that something didn't add up, and that speculation only grew louder after her arrest in Russia. When Brittney disappeared overseas, rumors exploded that she had been placed in a male prison. There was never any official confirmation of that claim, but the story went viral anyway. No verified statements came from her legal team, no clear updates from prison officials, and the WNBA stayed completely silent. And in situations like this, silence speaks volumes. That was all it took for Reddit threads, TikTok creators, and entire conspiracy channels to run wild. Suddenly, every old photo, every interview clip, every press conference moment was being rewatched and dissected under a microscope. People were looking for any clue they could find to back up their theories. And here's the part that still has fans talking. The league let it happen. They didn't shut it down. Instead, they kept putting her front and center. They featured her in every Pride Month campaign. They celebrated her return from Russia like it was a heroic moment. And they used her as a symbol for the league's message. Here's one of those clips celebrating her comeback. And for many fans, this was the moment they realized the WNBA wasn't just aware of the controversy, they were doubling down on supporting her.
Start off with the Mercury. Thank you so much, everybody with the Phoenix Mercury organization, all the hard work, long hours, everything that y'all did to for me, my wife, my family, getting me back home, being there, supporting me, letting me know that I wasn't alone. It means everything to me, to everybody. Vince, Bryce, Jim, coach, everybody, the players. It goes all the way down to the people that keep this building running.
Fans have been piecing this story together for years. The league could have just stayed quiet and let it fade away. But now that the leak is out, the conversation has completely changed. People aren't just questioning Brittney Griner's identity anymore. They're asking the bigger question. What did the WNBA and NBA know? And how long have they been keeping it under wraps? At first, all the heat was directed at the WNBA, but one name kept coming up in the background: Adam Silver. According to insiders, once those medical files started circulating behind the scenes, Silver got involved almost immediately, not because of league policy or official violations, but because of optics. Sponsors were getting nervous. Fans were completely split, and Caitlin Clark, the new face of the WNBA, was catching backlash for something she had nothing to do with. Sources say Silver didn't want this mess to overshadow All-Star Weekend, and executives were allegedly told to handle it quietly. And in WNBA language, that means one thing: cut her fast and don't make a scene. This wasn't about what Brittney said or even what she did. This was about what she represented. A PR nightmare the NBA didn't want to spend the rest of the season cleaning up. Let's not forget, Adam Silver isn't a hands-off commissioner. He oversees everything: from player conduct and sponsorship deals to the league's long-term vision. And the timing here is hard to ignore. This happened during one of the most successful seasons in WNBA history. For some, it feels less like a reaction and more like a reset, a clean slate for the league's image. With Brittney Griner no longer part of the picture, Silver even admitted that partners were starting to question their association with the WNBA, and if you missed it, here's the clip where he addressed it.
And cause current and former players, coaches, fans, and partners of the NBA to question their very association with the league.
While the public was busy arguing over whether the leak was even real, Adam Silver was already moving chess pieces behind the scenes. Brittney was quietly pulled from WNBA press events, and sure, we've all seen her walk out of interviews before, but this time it wasn't her choice. According to multiple insiders, Brittney wasn't even told directly. She allegedly found out she'd been removed the same way the rest of us did, when her name suddenly vanished from the league's database. And that's why fans are asking, if Silver had nothing to do with this, why hasn't he come out and distanced himself from it? Because if the league acted without warning, with Adam Silver's full approval, then Brittney Griner wasn't just benched, she was erased, sources say. Brittney has already contacted legal representation and is seriously considering filing against the league. Her camp believes there's a case for wrongful removal, especially if the decision was based on leaked medical information that was never meant to be public in the first place, and that's what fans can't stop talking about, because when Brittney entered the league, she passed every eligibility check. Nothing has changed in the WNBA rulebook since then. So what exactly is she being accused of now? The deeper people dig into those leaked results, the messier it gets. Even if the documents are authentic, they might not say what everyone thinks they say. Social media is acting like the leak was definitive proof. Case closed, end of story. But insiders are saying something very different. The file didn't explicitly state she was biologically male. Instead, it allegedly showed ambiguous markers, possibly pointing to an intersex condition or early hormone treatment, but nowhere does it reportedly say born male. That part was filled in by the internet. And here's the wildest part. Even if all of that is true, it still wouldn't technically disqualify her under current WNBA rules. The league has never required gender testing, never created a policy defining eligibility based on biological sex, and never included hormone levels as part of the checklist to play. Here's a quick look at what the WNBA actually uses to determine player eligibility. And you'll notice gender testing isn't on that list at all.
Here's a quick rundown of their checklist.
Women's basketball. Girls have to stay in college 2 years or 3 years?
4 years.
Oh, they gotta do all 4.
4 years. They gotta do all 4 years. You have to be a senior you have to be a senior or completed, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, or be the age of, you know what I'm saying, a senior. You can't have any more eligible, you know what I'm saying? You have to play 4 years in the NCAA in order to be eligible to go to the WNBA.
Some fans are now convinced the entire leak was a setup, not an accident. Not transparency, but a calculated move designed to make Brittney look like a fraud. And when the league tried to quietly sweep it under the rug, fans did what they always do. They started digging. Within hours, social media was pulling receipts, connecting dots, and building timelines, and what they found goes way beyond Brittney Griner. This isn't just about one player. It's about how the WNBA has, and to any athlete who doesn't fit the image they want to project, fans immediately started bringing up Liz Cambage, player who called out racism in the league and was labeled a problem instead of being heard. People are saying the WNBA has a pattern. When a player challenges the system, they don't defend them. They distance themselves. Liz herself has done multiple interviews trying to clear up what happened and explain her side of the story, including this one right here. But no matter how much she spoke up, the narrative never changed.
Report says that you called the players monkeys and told them to go back to their third world country. You have vehemently denied these reports.
Yes.
But there is also a group of people that say that you did say these things. Why are these stories so drastically different?
A lot of girls don't like me. I don't really lean towards racially backed insults. That's not how I go. I'm very pro-black.
And then there's Skylar Diggins-Smith. This is a player who literally gave everything to the game, played through brutal injuries, came back after giving birth, and still got sidelined by her own team with zero explanation. No press conference, no statement, nothing. And now, looking back, fans are starting to connect the dots. These weren't just random incidents. They were part of a bigger pattern, a league that will celebrate its stars when it's convenient, but quietly push them aside when things get messy. Just listen to this fan's take on the entire Skylar situation. They lay it out better than anyone.
Now, this was a quote that she said. She said, "I know I may not be everyone's cup of tea in that locker room. Why is there always drama with this girl?" And I thought the caption here was interesting. She's like, "Working on improving myself, not proving myself."
And now Brittney's story is falling right into that same cycle. Fans are saying this isn't just a one-off scandal, it's the latest chapter in a playbook. The league has been running for years. People started pulling old clips, rewinding interviews frame by frame, pointing out every moment Brittney looked tense, withdrawn, or straight up uncomfortable. Especially the ones that ended out of nowhere, like this one where she just got up and walked out, leaving the reporter completely stunned on live TV. Moments like these are now being reinterpreted as signs that something bigger was going on all along, that Brittney knew the pressure was coming and just couldn't take it anymore.
Especially the ones that ended abruptly, just like this one where she left the reporter hanging.
By Adam Johnson. Fiji, right now you have 10 points, 5 rebounds. We see the Atlanta Dream is being very... Right now she's talking to the refs about holding. We're going to send it back to you guys. We're going to send it back to you guys.
And while the league kept pushing Brittney further and further into the background, they were busy turning Caitlin Clark into the face of the WNBA. Caitlin was front and center in every single campaign plastered across ads, protected by the media, and crowned the future of women's basketball before her rookie season. Even hit the halfway mark. The contrast couldn't have been louder. Brittney was always painted as too much, too tall, too strong, too outspoken, while Caitlin was branded as the perfect golden girl. And that shift didn't sit right with a lot of fans who've been riding with Brittney since day one. Soon, the narrative started flipping online. Viral posts popped up calling the league out for using players like Brittney to carry the WNBA through its toughest years, only to toss them aside the second a more marketable star came along. And here's the part that's really fueling the fire. The WNBA still hasn't said a single word. No statement, no clarification, no explanation for why Brittney's name disappeared from the roster overnight. The silence is deafening. And for a lot of fans, it's starting to look less like a decision and more like a full-on cover dash up. And if that's what's really happening, Brittney's next move might blow the lid off everything. Because if the league thought she'd just bow out quietly, they've clearly forgotten who they're dealing with. Brittney's not just fighting for her career, she's about to take the whole system with her.